Michael Edward Reagan, eldest son of President Ronald Reagan and Jane Wyman, lived his life in the shadow of a presidential legacy, but he forged his own path with conviction. He became a nationally syndicated radio host, author, and columnist, championing conservative ideals and carrying forward his father's vision. Michael's passing at age 80 in January 2026 marked the end of a chapter for a man who was more than a son. He was a passionate advocate and a dedicated family man. Tributes poured in from across the political spectrum, reflecting the respect he earned through his integrity and unwavering beliefs. His legacy is one of public service, personal conviction, and a profound love for his country. Michael Reagan saw himself as the guardian of Ronald Reagan's legacy, a role he embraced with both pride and a profound sense of responsibility. As the eldest son of the 40th president, Michael understood that his father's impact on America extended far beyond his years in office. He recognized that the ideals Ronald Reagan championed, freedom, opportunity, and unwavering optimism, needed to be preserved and passed down to future generations. Dedicating his life to keeping his father's principles, economic freedom, individual liberty, and peace through strength, alive in American discourse, Michael became a tireless advocate for the values that defined the Reagan era. He believed that these principles were not just political talking points, but the foundation of a thriving and just society. Through his work, he sought to remind Americans of the importance of these ideals, especially in times of political division and uncertainty. He traveled the country, spoke at events, and wrote columns, urging conservatives to recommit to the values of the Reagan Revolution. Whether addressing a packed auditorium or writing for national publications, Michael's message was clear: the spirit of Ronald Reagan must endure. He encouraged audiences to look beyond partisanship and focus on the enduring principles that had once united the nation. In his book, The City on a Hill, he warned of the Republican Party drifting from its roots, calling for a return to optimism and clarity. Michael's writing was both a reflection on his father's legacy and a call to action for the party to rediscover its foundational beliefs. He challenged readers to remember the power of hope and the necessity of principled leadership, especially in a rapidly changing world. Michael fiercely defended his father's record, correcting misinterpretations and ensuring the true story of the Reagan presidency endured. He was often called upon to clarify historical events, offering first-hand insights that only a son could provide. Through interviews, public appearances, and media commentary, Michael worked to protect his father's reputation from revisionism and to highlight the enduring relevance of his leadership. He worked with organizations like Young America's Foundation, inspiring new generations to understand not just the policies, but the character and optimism of Ronald Reagan. Michael believed that the next wave of leaders needed to appreciate the values of courage, humility, and hope that his father embodied. By mentoring young adults and engaging with students, he helped ensure that the Reagan legacy would continue to inspire and guide. His personal stories and spot-on impressions brought history to life, connecting audiences to the man behind the presidency. Michael's warmth and humor made the past feel immediate and relevant, allowing people to see Ronald Reagan not just as a leader, but as a father, a friend, and a symbol of hope. For Michael, preserving legacy was both a public duty and a deeply personal tribute. Every speech, every book, and every conversation was a way to honor his father's memory and ensure that the lessons of the past would continue to shape the future. As chairman and president of the Reagan Legacy Foundation, Michael Reagan transformed his commitment into action, advancing the principles of liberty, opportunity, and democracy. The foundation sponsored educational programs, supported emerging leaders, and promoted Reagan-era values to new generations. Michael saw the foundation as a bridge, connecting his father's time to the present and future. He collaborated closely with Young America's Foundation, especially at the Reagan Ranch, sharing personal stories and political insights with students. His leadership brought authenticity and emotional weight to these efforts, ensuring the Reagan legacy remained vibrant and relevant. Tributes from allied organizations described him as an American hero and a devoted son, underscoring the respect he earned through unwavering dedication. Michael Reagan emerged as a powerful conservative voice, making his mark through the influential channels of traditional media. From the earliest days of his career, he understood the importance of reaching people where they were, on the airwaves, in print, and in person. Hosting a nationally syndicated radio show, Michael's words resonated with millions of listeners across the country. His show became a daily destination for those seeking clarity, conviction, and a principled perspective on the issues shaping America. He used his platform not just to entertain, but to educate listeners on the core tenets of conservatism: limited government, personal responsibility, and individual liberty. Drawing from his father Ronald Reagan's enduring legacy, as well as his own sharp analysis, Michael offered unique insights that bridged generations of conservative thought. As a prolific columnist and author, Michael tackled controversial topics head-on, never shying away from difficult conversations or challenging the status quo. His writing appeared in major newspapers and online platforms, where he dissected current events and called for a return to bold, principled conservatism. Whether on the air, in print, or at public events, Michael consistently advocated for the values he believed in, urging Americans to stand firm in their convictions. He was a staunch opponent of government overreach, frequently debating policies he saw as threats to personal freedom and economic opportunity. Michael was also a passionate advocate for free markets, believing that economic liberty was essential to national prosperity and individual success. He championed a strong national defense, arguing that America's security and leadership on the world stage depended on unwavering resolve. Michael's consistent worldview sometimes put him at odds with changing cultural tides, but he remained steadfast, refusing to compromise his principles for popularity. Through decades in media, Michael shaped the conservative conversation, inspiring grassroots activism, holding leaders accountable, and mentoring the next generation of advocates. His influence extended beyond the microphone and the printed page, energizing movements and encouraging ordinary citizens to get involved in the political process. For decades, Michael Reagan's voice was a constant beacon for those who shared his vision of a strong, free America, reminding them that advocacy, when rooted in conviction, can truly shape the nation's future. Beyond politics, Michael Reagan was known in his California community as a warm, approachable neighbor and friend. He connected with people from all walks of life, setting aside political differences to support local causes and build genuine relationships. His kindness, humor, and generosity earned him respect, even from political opponents. At home, he was a devoted husband, father, and grandfather, cherishing his family above all else. Friends and colleagues remembered him for his compassion and thoughtfulness, qualities that reflected the values he championed. Michael's personal decency transcended partisan divides, revealing the heart of a man defined by love for family and community. His authentic character was perhaps his greatest legacy. The Reagan family's public life was marked by both unity and deep ideological divides. From the outside, they often appeared as a close-knit, iconic American family, admired by millions. Yet, beneath the surface, their relationships were shaped by complex emotions, personal struggles, and differing worldviews that sometimes clashed in the public eye. Michael, adopted son of Ronald Reagan and Jane Wyman, shared a close bond with his father, but faced challenges within the family. Growing up in the shadow of a famous parent, Michael often felt pressure to live up to the Reagan name, while also forging his own identity. His relationship with his father was filled with moments of warmth and support, but also periods of distance and misunderstanding. His memoir, On the Outside Looking In, revealed feelings of being an outsider and caused temporary rifts. In the book, Michael candidly described his struggles with acceptance, both within the family and in the public sphere. The memoir sparked difficult conversations, forcing the family to confront issues that had long been left unspoken. Political disagreements with half-siblings Patty Davis and Ron Reagan played out publicly, especially on issues like same-sex marriage and stem cell research. These debates were not just private family matters, they became national news, highlighting the deep ideological rifts that could exist even within the most prominent families. The siblings often found themselves on opposite sides of heated public debates, their differing beliefs reflecting the broader divisions in American society. Despite these differences, the siblings were united by the unique experience of being Ronald Reagan's children. This shared legacy brought them together in moments of celebration and grief, reminding them of the powerful bond they all shared, regardless of their disagreements. The Reagan name carried both privilege and burden, shaping their lives in ways few could understand. Michael remained steadfast in his convictions, believing he honored his father by upholding conservative principles. He became a prominent voice in the conservative movement, using his platform to advocate for the values he believed his father stood for. Through public speaking and writing, Michael sought to continue his father's legacy in his own way. His journey within the Reagan family was a testament to living authentically, even when it meant navigating painful divisions. Michael's story is one of resilience, self-discovery, and the ongoing search for acceptance, both within his family and in the world beyond. Before his media career, Michael Reagan's life was shaped by diverse experiences that grounded his worldview. He was a professional speedboat racer, embracing adventure and forging an identity apart from his famous parents. Michael worked as a caterer and machine tool salesman, learning the value of hard work and the realities of small business. These roles gave him first-hand insight into the American economy and the challenges faced by everyday people. His early career taught him self-reliance and the art of persuasion, skills that later fueled his political commentary. Michael's varied background made him relatable and credible, allowing him to speak about the American dream from personal experience. After Michael Reagan's passing, tributes poured in from across the conservative movement and beyond. The Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute praised his life of conviction and devotion to his father's ideals. Young America's Foundation called him an American hero and a devoted family man, highlighting both his public and private contributions. Friends and colleagues remembered his compassion, humor, and ability to connect with people on a human level. Even political opponents respected his integrity and approachable nature. Michael's character transcended partisan divides, earning him admiration from all sides. His legacy was celebrated as one of principle, kindness, and unwavering dedication. Michael Reagan's legacy is defined by unwavering conviction and a commitment to timeless American values. He stepped out of his father's shadow to become a passionate advocate for freedom, responsibility, and national strength. Through media, public speaking, and leadership, he inspired countless Americans to engage in civic life and uphold conservative ideals. His work with organizations like Young America's Foundation ensured the Reagan message reached new generations. Beyond politics, he was remembered for his kindness, humor, and ability to connect across divides. Michael embodied duty, patriotism, and perseverance, facing challenges with resilience and faith in his principles. His passing marks the end of an era, but his legacy of conviction and hope for America endures.